Hey guys, another tutorial on how to use the inputs. All right, so we had the buttons before, now we have the inputs here. This is pretty simple, right? So usually we're gonna use not the input itself, but we're gonna use the input group, right? So we have the input name, the input values, and description. So for example, if we need to create a card, what we're gonna have is something like this, right? So this, you can see the structure here of what the card is. You can see that this component, this variant, doesn't have the description here, but it still has the space for the description, right? So this is because, for example, if you have an error here on this field, you don't have a change in position of the inputs, right? So how are you gonna use this? You're gonna or use the form here or the input, just the input. So you have the different states. You have selected, empty, so field is like this, empty is a little bit dimmed here, the name, the value, or the placeholder actually. So you have the icon here. These, all the icons, they are all from Font Awesome. I'm gonna make another tutorial on how to use Font Awesome, but you all should have the latest version installed. The latest version is in our Notion, so you can grab it from there. And here, if you see, let's say you're gonna make an input, an email input. So the icon is gonna be an envelope. So envelope here, the input value is gonna be maybe your email at gmail.com or something like this. And now we can change the state, for example, disabled, or we can have it error, for example, right? So these options are all here within this group. This group has this component inside. So when we use this, what we're gonna have, we can use this hiding the name. So for example, I don't want the name to show, all right, we can have it like this, but I don't see a case for it. We can change the input name here, let's say for email, and you can see it's all caps because every component here is made up with the atoms here. So this is the input name. It changes, it has a text transformation for all caps, right? So so uppercase for the names, and we have the option to disable the description as well. So let's say we don't have a description here, right? So with description, without description, let's say we have an error here. Let's say here it's filled, right? So it's filled with an error. So let's say I inputted an email, or better yet, let's always change the things from this side panel here. So let's say the value is something like at, and I didn't put anything after the at. So this is my email, right? So this is the icon. The icon here is envelope. So this is the error, and the error here is this, or better yet, this is not a valid email. Okay, so this is a version of the error we're gonna have, right? So if you're gonna use this, you can change to whatever you want. You can change the passwords and so forth, so on and so forth. So here, let me delete this. This is how to use the inputs and the atomic design principles, right? So you have the templates here, how it's all gonna come together in a card or in a model, how the models work. So for example, how the models work. This is a component, right? So for the cards, it's hard to make a component. But let's say we need a card, we need a field, an input field with just one. For example, just one, I don't know, password or PIN. So let's detach this and let's say I only need one field. This is how a card is going to behave. It has only one field, right? The card does not have a fixed height because mobile phones change in height. So all we're going to have is this, right? So if we go to the screen, this screen is wrong, right? Because this is what's going to happen to the screen if we take it into consideration this process. This is more or less how it's gonna look, right? It's only gonna have the height needed for the content. The content determines the height of the card or the model, right? So this we have to think about better how to include this, or maybe you can make it bigger. I don't know, something like that, and we can make it move around and stuff. So it's pretty up to us how we're gonna use this, right? So let's delete this shit. All right, so guys, this is how we're gonna use the components here and the atomic design principles, right? Okay.